So
wait, let me see.
it looks.
You will be pulled. It'll be a
Okay.
rough sim.
Challenge
What
accepted.
It looks to me like you should not be
I
doing
think the one
140.
to the
and
right
you should be
corner
doing more
is the
like
most clear.
Yeah, I think you're right.
100.
Try to go up a little bit.
Does that make sense?
Can you zoom in more?
Because
I want to, but I'm scared
Chris
we're going to
wanted
bounce
start
away.
on this corner.
Ah,
Right?
no, Acapado.
Can you come down in your delta, please?
Yes.
Right. But what I'm saying,
We are rocking. That's a lot of octopod.
Octopopple.
yeah, so straight up
Avocado.
slope is going to be 110. Yeah, okay,
All right,
great.
Jess, I think we should zoom out
Roger.
again.
Nautilus Live audience, help
Right,
me
when
make this a
you guys
thing.
are ready.
Plural of octopus. Octopopple. We're putting it in the dictionary.
My vote is avocado.
That's already a thing.
What's up, Ben?
The ship moves down whenever you guys are ready.
So I'm ready to start heading back
I'm being
to
pulled.
the east.
Yeah, at about 110.
110, Roger.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be more like this from, if this
Sure.
was 12, you know, because we want to get this
This
part.
was 100,
Oh, was it?
according to, like, that was my set point. It doesn't mean we actually moved that way,
Okay.
but that was my set point.
That sounds good.
But I'll set it to whatever. Right now I'm 280. I'm going to get halfway along, spin, and come back. So as soon as I'm able to do that, it means I'm closer to Argus, I'll take a timeout, do a 180, and then keep going. But whatever bearing I need to go, I'll just set it there, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah,
If
this
Argus
is a
wasn't
coverage
bouncing so
issue,
much, it'd be a much better image.
I would say it
Yeah.
should be 100, but it's up to Chris.
100. The bearing,
For
and
her.
heading eventually. Okay.
If you want to get all the way. Sure. Okay.
Sure, 110. So I'm going to back up at 280, and when I get a little while, I'll change, and that'll be a 170 change. Okay, I'm going to start my moves back now. I'll go 20 meters reverse. So I'm going to be coming upslope towards you.
I'll bring Argus up.
And you can put ship moves in whenever you want, Ben, because we won't see him for a little bit.
I see you.
There you are.
Can you see that boulder in the Argus cam, Chris? KT. I mean, they're not giant. I'm just trying to look for you for a patch test later, but I don't know if any of these are going to be large enough. And no, it's fine. Just keep going.
Keep coming up.
No worries.
Yeah. Goodbye, Octopopple.
47.
Yep.
Yeah, so this line should be about
To
100
15?
meters.
To 20.
20. You're going below me?
Yeah, it should come through imminently because
Not
Argus
quite,
is over
but,
it now,
more or
so
less.
we'll have a look-see. They're the biggest ones I've seen that might give you good
What'd you say?
features.
This line should be about 100 meters, and then we'll just go due south.
Understood.
Yep. And I'll just keep on stepping.
How's the wraps?
It's fine. I'm coming out right now.
Okay, yep,
Here, 20, that's good.
sure. No, I get it, yeah. I just, yeah, measure to the box, not the...
I don't like turning this way, but I'm doing it. Here we go.
Here we go. Hold on, kids. Oh, gosh.
So 20, it's good. Nice and slow and steady. It's looking really good.
At some point, Ben, could you please share with the audience, pardon me, the purpose of this mapping? What you'll be using it for?
So Yeah, so Chris is collecting a sonar multi-beam map from Hercules. The sonar we're using has a really wide swath width that kind of takes advantage of being low to the seafloor. And, you know, doing a multi-beam map from, you know, basically adjacent to the seafloor interface, we have the ability to get a really high resolution map that for geologists they can...
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah,
You're going
go for it.
110?
I am going...
And I'm going to go 100, so we get together because you're still north of me.
That's perfect.
Okay, great. I'm going to start stepping now. Chris, you're good with that?
Yeah, so
Up or
do
down?
it. Okay, go on.
Actually, I'm going to put another ship over.
Are you going up or down?
I'm going upslope.
So I'll bring Argus up too.
Sure, yeah, that sounds great. And yeah, you can keep those ship moves coming.
Yeah. Yeah, so the map that Chris will be able to derive from this raw data from all these pinging of the seafloor acoustically will be of a fine scale that geologists can really look at the finer morphologies of the border ridge geology, and then I think, you know, better understand the formation and the nature of these geological features on the seafloor.
Losing Doppler, 2 beams.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you see how this one we put in midway and it kept the straight line and it didn't do the little victory lap? Yes. That's what we want. Awesome. Yep.
It's a lot of bend.
Mm-hmm.
USBL looks pretty good, actually. Still.
Awesome. Great. Okay, as we wait for the
you're
ship,
at
I'm
the-
going to sit here for a sec. You can keep the ship moves coming.
Yep, they're coming.
Okay, I'm not sure where you are relative to.
Yeah, okay. So
Right.
I'm, if you see in 6, just off to the right side of that screen, I'm just barely there. So your heading is 045. I'm this way of you.
Yeah. Okay.
You can see just the kind of faintest glow there.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. It's kind of hard with the pink logo there.
Yeah,
the
I
heading
don't-
is not necessarily correct.
And I'm jumping, so it doesn't make any sense. I'm jumping, like Argus is jumping. Argus is pink, right?
Argus is pink. So the USBL is the only one Argus has, so it'll always jump.
Yeah.
Herc also has USBL, but we've tied the little icon to the DVL fix. So Herc's USBL is also jumping around the same amount.
Oh. Well, then that's not really good. That's
It's
not
like-
helpful.
You look at the mean of
It's-
those
it's-
blue points coming in. That
Exactly.
should give you a better read than the instantaneous pinging.
Yeah, the USBL is very accurate, but very imprecise at this depth.
So Argus will maintain a little bit north of you as we're...
Yeah, so we
Is that-
should come together because I'm at 100 and you're at 110.
Yep.
But that's not super fast. Okay, so I think I got enough that I can get going a little bit now. And I'm going to be coming up again here.
Okay, I'll wait for you to catch up a little bit.
I'm as caught up as I want to be.
Okay, so keep it at 15.
Sure, please, yeah. Doppler is solid right now, but I'm expecting that to change with this guy. Understood, okay. And I'll also try to not stop when I'm in a low beam area, because that's when we get compounding errors. Still seems pretty rock steady. So while I wait for the ship, I'll stay here. How fast is the ship making? What kind of speed is it making? seeing 0.2, 0.3 knots.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's, yeah, 0.1 meter per second. So, Chris, do you mind if I slow down my speed? And I'm going to step forward again, get out of this bad zone. I might pull you so you can give me a 315 heading.
Yeah, we're more like 0.3 than 0.2.
I don't think it wants to go that way.
Oh, it does.
It does.
I just want to make sure that we, as we approach the cliff, we slow down a little, or are more conservative, right?
Sure. That is a good practice in general. We'll keep an eye on the sonars.
Yeah, we still have like 90, 80 meters. So.
Yeah, I don't need this high resolution. Get rid of the beans. Yeah, there's the cliff. What's the height of the cliff?
Maybe about 60.
Sure, okay. And
60 to here.
we're going to here?
You're going to be going more like here.
Understood, yep, got it.
So we're just going to,
We're not going that far out though, we're going to the edge of the bounding box? Is that
well,
correct?
So I think we should end up before the cliff here and go down to the cliff.
Sure.
Chris, do you follow that? We'll be going, because our bearing will bring us outside the bounding box right now, we should stop before the cliff, due north of where the cliff intersects us to the south, and then go down to the cliff and back. Sure, that's fine. We'll be north of. Yeah, we'll be north of that. That upper right part of that bounding box by 20 to 30 meters. Does that make sense? Yeah, good. All right.
Yeah, I was going to say, operationally, if that's easier, just do that and just get more extent. And it just means they're longer lines, but operationally it's easier, let's just go for that, I think.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
So when we eventually do our step over, if it's going to be a 25 meter step over, let's go 35 meters south with the ship. Because I want Argus in line with this. So right now I'm not worried about it, but when we eventually finish the line and step down, we'll step more than Herc steps over.
Yep, exactly. But due south is okay because we'll be stepping directly across the cliff.
Yeah, sure.
Is that okay? That's what I was saying was that I don't know if you want Argus to.
Yeah, well that's another discussion.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
This may be a question for someone at the ISC.
Understood. Coming up 5 meters.
Is there a central database where all the mapping is contained? So
Copy that, Cassidy?
No.
I'm coming up 5 meters.
Okay. Roger.
What? I know. Right? I'm going to bring our bearing to 120 for Argus. Is that preferable?
Yes, please. All right, Chris, altitude 20 meters.
Does it use the DVL to get the delta depth, or are there pressure transducers? Or
It's pressure transducers for depth. Parascientific depth or depth sensors, pressure sensors.
Right. Okay.
Okay, I think I might be able to do another. We'll do 5 meters forward for now. I could probably make 10. Probably make 10.
Forward upslope.
Just going forward.
So stay where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll be good.
So Susan, I can answer that question really quickly about the mapping data. So I believe a lot of it in the US is hosted by NOAA and actually goes to the National Geophysical Data Center, so it's NGDC, where you can actually view all of the multi-beam shipboard multi-beam, but not necessarily the resolution that we're acquiring at. So a lot of the shipborne multi-beam, which is of a lower resolution, so maybe 50 to 100 meter gridded resolution can be got from, the National Geophysical Data Center that's hosted by NOAA.
Okay, so how do they know that, well, you don't want it to be redundant of someone doing an area that someone else did. So is that where a researcher would go to see if it was previously mapped?
Yes, you could go there, and then there's also sort of more global data sets like JEBCO as well, which get updated, I think, on a decade scale, because they take a lot of the satellite altimetry and then they merge that with the shipboard multi-beam that they've acquired over the years. But there's actually a big project at the moment called Seabed 2030,
Do we
where
want that?
it is a global
where's our
effort
endpoint?
to actually try and map the whole of the seafloor by 2030. But as you rightly say, yeah, absolutely, these archives are in place to make sure that everyone can share their data and that so we don't end up keep mapping the same areas over and over again.
Okay.
Lee, what did you call
Yeah,
that
this one,
database?
this one that you
JEBCO?
just put in will be the last. That sounds good. Yep.
Lee.
Who are you looking for? She's Psi 1 or 2. 2?
Sorry, was that a question?
Hey Lee, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, yeah.
What did you say that database was called? JEBCO?
So no, the actual database where the data gets stored is NGDC, which is the National Geophysical Data Center. So that's where NOAA, I think, archives all of their bathymetry. And JEBCO is the grid that is the global grid, that is a kind of amalgamation of satellite altimetry and also shipboard bathymetry as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you please come up on your delta?
Yes.
And we're approaching a cliff, so there's going to be some speedy activity soon.
Yep.
That is a bit of a wall there, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to stop this ship move now.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
soon. Yep.
Actually, like I think you said earlier, Chris,
What?
this isn't too bad an idea because we've got your other survey that we completed earlier on in the expedition that will actually overlap this area.
Chris, how do you want me to treat this cliff? Am I just going to keep auto XYing and then come up it, or like how do you want that to play out?
No,
Oh,
they marked it as abutting the cliff, so okay.
okay. Then we should move the ship
Yeah,
the
I'd
other
agree.
way.
Well, that's what. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Let me know when you've got what you need there, Chris, and we'll pull away.
Yeah.
You bet we are.
I'm going to bring our bearing to 220 and then bring it down to 2. Yeah, okay.
What?
That's what I was. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the stopping thing.
Yeah, we are. Is there any zoom? I don't think there's any zoom. Oh gosh.
Woo!
Cliff
Yeah.
mapped.
Cliff is there. We
Is
found
there-
it.
Confirmed.
Confirm.
220 is the strike of the cliff. Is that correct? Okay. Great. Yep. Awesome.
Oh, and now we're losing DVL because of the cliff. Okay, great.
Roger. Stepping aft.
Yeah,
Well, it's a good spot for manual slam.
Can you come up with
yeah,
your delta,
it
please?
is.
Yes.
I think. Yeah, I'd rather have the
Definitely wanna
DVL
be
slip at the
15.
very end of the
Yeah.
trajectory than at the beginning. So.
Oh, I've lost all DVL.
Oh, that's
Stop that.
fantastic.
Yikes. Stop that. Hey, stop that. I got 4 beams again. Neat. That was weird.
Great. How's our USBL drift looking, Ben?
It
I'm
looks
gonna-
pretty good.
Yeah, it's been good this whole line.
All right, great.
Um,
So let's step over. We're actually going to step over quite a bit. 1, 2, 3. Let's step over like 40 meters.
What bearing? Strike of the cliff?
Strike of the cliff, yeah.
210.
210 strike. So I'm just going to change this.
Yeah. Or even 215 if you. It's
So that's 125 is my heading, and I'll just do lateral action to
Alright.
starboard.
I'm going to do another ship move of 215.
Roger that.
Okay.
Can you spin around and see if you can get me in view, please? Maybe
Starboard or
come to port. Doesn't really matter, I guess. And Chris, you let me know when I have enough overlap that I should stop moving. Thank you.
You're in the down cam.
Perfect.
Oh, there you are.
There I are.
There you are.
Long time no see, buddy.
Oh, what you been up to lately?
Just mapping. You know, as you do.
Same old, same old.
As one does at the bottom of the ocean.
We're at Quarter Ridge off the coast of Northern California in Oregon, mapping Quarter Ridge area. It's at the bottom of the Juan de Fuca Plate. And previously we had been picking up samples for scientists from Subsea, NASA Subsea Research Center, and Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute, Ocean Exploration Trust, and NOAA to examine the samples for their analog studies. If you look in the third window, you can see the satellite feed number 3, and that is the map that's being generated right now of that particular area. Lee, at some point, could you please share your role on this team?
Sorry, Susan, who?
Lee, if she could possibly share what her role is with this team of scientists.
Yeah, sure. Stand by 1 second, Susan.
Sure.
The ship move is complete, so as we settle out, Chris, if you want to gauge, if you want Argus to be positioned more south for your coverage.
Yeah, we were waiting on the ship, and I can move a little bit.
Right, so where Herc is.
I still am kind of close to this wall.
You bet. You're 15 meters from the wall.
Let's get a turret in. Look at that. Look at those rocks.
You got one little eel.
Thank you.
Oh, there's little coral patches. Is that coral or are those worms? I think they're worms, actually. I was just looking at those, and that's really unusual to see them actually on the cliff face. I see what you're doing, Trevor.
Oops.
I think, yeah, you passed it.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris, stand by.
Stand by, Susan. I'll get back to that question once these guys have got on their line properly.
Okay. I'll try to stay underneath you to give you the highest delta I can.
All right, I'm going for 20 then.
Yeah, 22 maybe.
Oh wow, look at that. I'm already at 18, 19.
Yeah. It might be a good idea if you keep your heading to the left and keep that cliff wall.
Keep an eye on it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll change the sonar when you come around.
Okay. Hello again.
Thank you.
All right, cliffs in full view.
Roger.
Should be heading back from it.
Yeah, it looks, we're going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. What was that, Chris? One more time. Update your envelope. Roger. 10 meters to starboard. Okay. Where are we here? Argus is there. Ship is there. Yeah, don't move the ship anymore south. Yeah. Okay. It is. Yeah, that'll be okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking pretty good here. How are you thinking there, Chris? Should I get closer to the cliff? Should I step farther starboard? Five meters starboard. Sounds good. Which is what?
It's not a
Understood.
bad thing.
Oh, yeah. So Lee, if we're right by the vent site, do you think that's why we see a lot of worms?
Yeah, the weird thing is that they're on the cliff face, right? So I would expect to see them in areas of diffuse flow because they need some
Right.
hydrothermal
What's my
flow to
bearing to the
sustain
next spot?
themselves.
Right.
And I always believed that it needed to come subsurface, but that would suggest that the wall in front of us had some form of flow.
Right.
But I'm not entirely sure now. So it might be that
Sure.
they don't need, it
I
doesn't
think
need to be
280 is what I did
subsurface flow,
before,
and
so I'll
it
do
could
that
just be
again.
that they are in some form
Chris,
of
can I
flow
bring my
because this
heading
is a
to,
vertical wall in front of the vent. As such.
100.
Interesting.
Do you
I'm
think
gonna
it's
start
possible
moving.
that there
Sorry,
is
please
flow in
do.
the wall? It's just so minimal, it's hard for us to see at this distance?
Geologically, I don't know because it looked like really broken basalts. So when we got up very close to it, did you see they looked like pillows
Yeah.
that were like fractured? So I'm not entirely sure. To be honest, that would be a question for one of the geologists ashore. I wouldn't know.
Interesting.
So I'm going to let Argus lead a little bit here before I
Yeah,
start
are you
making my moves.
right below me?
Yeah. Down cam is the...
Yeah, I should be able to see you from right there. Oh, there you are. Herc, my
Coming
man.
Start singing some Disney Hercules songs.
Okay, so I can probably go up like a meter. I'm probably fine right here.
Yeah, I think you're good. And you're going to be moving away from me too, so... And then I'll move down slope as well.
We're off the coast of Northern California and Oregon at Gorda Ridge. Previously, scientists collected some samples from the hydrothermal vents, and presently they're mapping the area to provide this more refined data to the geologists. If you'd like to find more information, go to nautiluslive.org, expeditions, and there is information on the subsea program. Expedition, actually.
So
That's
how
all you
big was
get.
that step
You're watching the
in the
camera
end,
5 when
Chris?
you do
Was
that?
that quite a large? Sorry, how large was that step
Should
in
I
the
be?
end?
Yeah.
It was a big step.
It's
So you
about
don't run
40
it into
meters.
stuff.
Yeah. It's about 40 meters.
40 meters, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But that was not totally perpendicular to the
No.
lines.
Understood.
Yeah,
Okay.
37, I'd say.
Could you please give me a heading of 100?
On Argus.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to keep the ship moves if you guys are...
Please do, yep. Cool. So you're going to be a bit south of me this time, which is no problem, I guess.
I'm trying to bring us... I'm going
No,
10 meters over.
it's
I mean,
good.
10 degrees.
Very slightly south, so that's fine. We were a lot more north on this one than we are south on this one,
Right.
so that's totally fine.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Because you're going to 270?
I'm going 280,
Oh, you are. Okay.
heading 100, bearing 280. Basically, that means beep, 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 beep. Backing up. I can't remember if I asked you this, Chris. Am I good? I have a little bit of room to go forward if you want any more close to the cliff. Sure, that is. Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Roger that.
Beep, beep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, whenever, yeah, you can put whatever heading you think is best now. I just wanted to look at that, see where we were at. So if we lining up our headings like that, that means I can totally get visually the offset of where we are. You know what I mean? If we're looking parallel and I'm not centered in your screen, that means I'm off to your left.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
That's kind of what I was doing, just orienting myself there.
Nice. I'm going to go up on a delta a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, I've said this before, the way I see like underwater navigation is it's like a whole bunch of, you're trying to solve like a jigsaw puzzle, trying to figure out what the picture is, but you don't have the picture on the box in front of you.
Right.
You don't have all the pieces, and you have some pieces mixed in from another puzzle.
That last part is key.
Yes. And you don't know which one's which. You gotta try and put them all together and figure out what the picture is. Okay, I think I can start stepping aft.
Towards me.
Yes.
The ship should be quite ahead of us.
Yeah, ship's going for it, and I'm not. So I'm stepping aft. I'm at an altitude of 23.95 meters, 24 meters, and descending down because we're going to go down slope.
Down. Okay.
So you can start coming down already.
Yeah. Yeah. So hurry up. I'm getting pulled.
Yeah, I'm going to hold off on the ship moves for a second.
No. You can
good?
keep them going.
Okay.
I was waiting for them to start going, and now that they're going, we're good to keep them going. So you can come down in a delta to like 20.
Yep.
Because I'm going to keep stepping aft, and that'll bring me down slope.
Yeah.
How fast the ship making? 0.3?
0.3, yeah.
0.4? Yeah, okay, great. I still have my speed set point to about 0.5 knots, so.
Bridge now.
How's that looking, Chris? You got it covered?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Okay, you can keep paying out.
Panning out. Heading down.
Yeah, paying out on the winch. Put more cable in water.
Do you have an idea of half your swath width, or your swat width to the port side of the direction we're heading?
To the port side? The port side is huge because it's kind of downslope.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you're going to want another mini pass.
That'd be the starboard side.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see where we end up time-wise at the end of this.
Yeah, it'll be starboard of her port to the direction. I meant.
So that looks like, Chris, that's actually pretty central to our survey path. So
What?
The ridge system that we've got
Yeah,
mapped, that's
yeah,
going
it
to be
was
like
right in the
smack
middle.
bang in the middle.
Yeah,
so
that
we're all
was-
good.
You
Which was
think-
always
you
the
think
plan.
one up and one down is You think they'll be happy with that?
I think so. I mean, I was just looking. I was going to actually ask the same
the only
question
thing we
as
won't
Ben.
quite get over those tube worm sites or whatever on the map on HiPAC.
The first tube worm ones, the one
Yeah,
that's marked
I don't know
first tube worms.
if we want to. Yeah, if we want to grab that, I don't know, but.
I mean, I would think let's see when we get to the end of this line. So once
Yeah.
the vehicles get to the edge of the bounding box.
Yeah, because
And
I'm thinking the only thing I'm thinking is the maneuvering is going to be easier at the bottom of the ridge. The
Yeah.
Argus maneuvering and the Herc maneuvering, so it.
And that would be our final line. So if we came
Yeah.
back in towards the ridge just to get that final line so that you got good coverage of that sort of most southern extent
Yeah.
of that box, I think
Yeah.
that would be ideal.
Right.
In terms of time, I mean, they allocated an hour and a half. They allocated 2 hours to this, and we came on watch at 12, and we started then. So I don't think it's. I would rather, personally, I think it's better that we get a good map, and if ISC is there, I will defer to them if they would really rather crack on. But I think
Okay.
let's.
Yeah, it looks like we finally got a decent technique going here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, how far back are we going? How far
Yeah.
west are we going?
Because you're going to go over the bounding box, but you're going to get overlap to in and out. Like, do you want that?
Well, I want to go outside the bounding box,
Yep.
right? Because we're not lined up with it. So in
Yep.
order to, yeah, and I mean, once we have the ship moving, that doesn't cost us much,
Roger that.
right? So to go a little further is not that bad. It's the stepping that is time-consuming.
The setup and the
Yeah,
perfect.
agreed.
I'm with you. So that'll probably be our last one, I would think. Okay. On the same page.
Yep,
You to
we
check
just
which
got
page
we
we're
just
on?
caught the vent in
The
the
same one.
multi-beam.
Yeah, it's looking good. I'm just looking at it now. It looks
You
great.
can see the bubbles coming up from the multi-beam there. See?
Wow,
Oh,
cool.
wow, that's
That's
awesome.
really neat.
Vent detection.
Yeah. Nailed it. Vent detection.
Nailed.
Yeah.
So is that just the interaction of your multi-beam, of your acoustics against
Yeah,
the vent
so
fluid? Because there's no
the-
gas
the-
there, right?
Yeah,
So
the,
it's
bubbles
not
are
a
highly
crazy-
the vent fluid
reflective.
is because of the high temperature differential, you have crazy diffraction,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? And you can even have reflection off of layers in the fluid and stuff, which is what we're seeing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which is why it's kind of like fuzzy and not, super clear, but
Understood. Yeah.
we can definitely see it, which is kind of neat.
No,
so.
no, absolutely. No, it's really cool. But that's
Going
the same
down on
kind of
Delta.
issues we're seeing
Thank you.
visually. What we see now with the multi-beam visually by
Yeah,
seeing
which
that
is
vent fluid. It's the
which
same
is
issues
why
we
I
have
wanted
with
to
our
which is why I wanted to survey this way, so we didn't
go over it with our Doppler.
Yeah, because our Doppler was seeing
Has
the
the
exact
same-
same
yeah.
thing. But the multi-beam, is not critical for navigation, so it's...
No,
Losing
absolutely.
Doppler now.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Diffuse.
If you could like not lose Doppler, that'd be cool.
Roger, not losing Doppler
Trying
anymore.
Let's hold on to it.
Let's have
Doppler
words with that Doppler.
maintained.
Have words with those beams.
I missed that memo. Sorry, guys. That should be in the dive plan. Do not lose Doppler. Oh, okay. I'm still going down slope pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we're gonna try for another one, maybe while we're getting to the end of the line, maybe you might even be able to start swinging Argus
Yep.
south
Swinging.
before we even get to the end of this line. Does that sound like a thing that you guys could do?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll contract your tether
Do
a
some
little bit
compound moves here
Yeah,
so
that's
we
okay.
can save some time.
because I don't think we need overlap all the way.
Sounds good, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we could, if we so desired.
Yeah, and actually Argus is already pretty south, so you don't have that much far to move, which
Yep.
will be kind of
Exactly,
nice. Great. And then let's just go, the last one, let's just do a 40 meters at the end of this line immediately. 40 meters.
40 meters step over.
40 meters step to starboard, yeah.
Okay, that's going to be bigger than the last time.
Yeah, it is. It
Okay.
is bigger. I think that'll be okay.
Okay, and we'll
We ended-
probably do a 30 meter with the ship because Argus is already south.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be about 50 meters left of this line.
And Chris, have you seen anything on your data that would make for a good patch test line? I mean, it's not.
Everything is just like rubbly and there's
Yeah,
nothing
how
really
to-
isolated. I think it's,
Are you heading down?
yeah.
I mean,
this terrain is just not
it's
good.
not conducive
It's
to.
not good patch
Even at
test
this angle,
terrain.
there's a whole
No.
bunch of slack.
No,
I
we
mean-
haven't, like, we've been minimizing our rolls and
Okay.
stuff. So, I mean, I can kind of patch test on the map itself.
Sort of self-patch test against every line.
Yeah, and we'll at least constrain the rotations that we see in the map,
Mm-hmm.
or the offsets that we'll see in the map. But, yeah, I don't know. It's,
I think the only area was, to be honest, was up the top end of this box where we saw the basalt blocks. But as you say,
Yeah,
they were
and-
really small. There wasn't like an isolated feature that we could
Yeah.
easily use, I don't believe.
yeah. We could maybe use the ridge
Do a little
itself.
dance.
Right.
If we just move to a spot that's away from the... If we move to a spot that's away from the bubbles,
Oh, I think, well, then maybe
or away from the vent fluid.
towards the end of your final line, then, when we go back to approach the ridge,
Yeah.
All right,
maybe
I'm
we can
holding
have
off
a-
on the ship move.
obviously operationally, if it's safe for us to do so, then
Yeah.
maybe we could use that area. But
Yeah.
I'll leave the decision entirely up to you because you're the one that's got to process it. So
Yeah.
we'll go by your guidance.
I just don't want to pull you here. But yeah. All right, I'm going to put in one.
Sounds grand.
Or even if on your final line, if you just wanted to reverse back over it, would that provide anything?
It would
Just to
provide
do a
something.
straight reverse, so that
Well,
at least
you
you
want
get
to turn around and turn 180.
do a
and-
180 and then go over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me?
No,
No.
no. Sorry, we're
no
just.
one. If we can continue to back up too, I want to overshoot this line as much as is practical.
We know that, yeah, Argus will still be swinging for a little bit. We're doing that compound movement we were
Right,
talking
exactly. Perfect. Yeah, I just want to make sure there's no reason to really stop yet.
about. Absolutely.
Yeah, the ship's...
to
I mean,
check
you might as
well
well, yeah,
ahead
you
of
might as well
us.
get as much as you can out of it while
Understood.
Argus is doing its thing.
As much as I can without spinning the vehicle, or do you want me to do a 180-degree turn with Herc and
As much as
stretch
you
out?
can without spinning the vehicle.
No
Let's-
spin, Roger.
I think I'm not. I think we'll have enough sort of coverage.
Sounds good. That is fine by me.
You do have overlap on this to the north of that line from the
Okay.
beginning part.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he does.
Does this map provide information about the density of the rocks in the area or anything like that?
Be probably hard
no,
to back
it-
up
it-
the substrate.
Yeah,
type
I
from
think
the
if you're
backscatter.
talking about like the actual hardness, like the density of the rocks themselves,
Yes.
it provides no information about that. Something like our sub-bottom profile or something might have a little better chance of that, but I think with rocks, I don't think we're able to really get that. This could give us the density of like how many rocks are in a given area, if that's what you mean, but no, it won't tell us anything about the material properties of the rocks,
composition or
really. Yeah.
anything. Okay.
But it will be able to tell us the difference between rocks. So the mode we're looking at the moment is the bathymetry mode, in a sense. So we're looking at the topography of the seafloor. But if you look at the strength of the return, you're able, and which is called backscatter, you're able to work out potentially what is soft substrate and what is hard substrate. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Mhm.
So yeah, you're able to what we would call like make a habitat map as such, just to get an idea of what
Okay, we
substrate's
can
down there.
probably
So we can ground
we're
truth
probably
that
good to
with what
step
we're
over
physically seeing
whenever.
in our video cameras as well.
Are we moving?
Okay.
So like go ahead.
We're always moving. I can get a little bit more to the end of my tether.
Sure.
And then-
if
Should I head down?
it's if you don't think it'll slow things
Sure.
down, we can.
I do
just
not
do
think
that.
it'll slow things down.
Great, great.
15?
Let's do that.
Sure, please, yep.
So like the other day when they were trying to find a rock, but it was parts of chimneys, that would be able to distinguish between hard rock versus the chimneys?
say you will?
Not necessarily,
Instead of
no,
a
because the
this.
chimney, it's really between like basalt, so really hard volcanic rocks, and
Just cut the
sands.
corner. I
So
know
that's
that.
kind of the level we're looking at.
Okay.
The reason we can kind of see where the chimneys are on the bathymetry data we're looking at now is because we know that they're on a ridge feature, so we can see the ridge feature on our map. But then also because Chris was just explaining earlier, the way acoustic properties work in water, when the water density changes, it causes refraction of the acoustic beams. So as those acoustics are coming off our multi-beam sonar and coming in contact with the hydrothermal vent fluid, it's actually bending the acoustics, and that's actually giving us almost a false return. So we're actually able to see the fluid. So it's kind of giving us a false bottom to a certain extent. So we're not actually able to map directly straight over the hydrothermal vents, as it were, because we're getting a mixed and confused signal from those fluids as well. So it's kind of like, it's a bit of a puzzle. Once so Chris has got his work cut out once we've actually got this map. He'll have to realign all the navigation and then work out what's noise, as it were, that was generated from the vent fluid itself, and things like that. So there's a lot of parameters he'll have to adjust and play with to actually get a final product that will give us that topography, that final map of the seafloor.
Okay, thank you.
That's okay.
Chris, please keep me up to date on how that overlap is working. I think I have gone 25, or sorry, I think I've got 15 meters so far.
Yeah, there's plenty more than that we can move, so.
I'm aiming for 35 or 40.
That sounds like 35 or 40 is probably about right.
Would this be considered part of the Ring of Fire, this area?
I don't think it's a main subduction area for that, but I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know what the Ring of Fire is.
Really?
Yeah.
It's this ring of subduction zones. And
Define subduction.
Like where one oceanic plate goes under a continental crust, or and so then you tend to have a lot of volcanic or geologic activity, earthquakes.
Don't laugh at my curiosity.
No, it's good curiosity.
It's awesome, yeah.
The audience
Trevor.
No, it's great.
Yeah, so
I
you
just
get
like
a lot
the-
of volcanism like vents, and you get a lot of seismic activity like earthquakes with slippy, abrasive movement of the plate under the other.
I just like the way it directly puts Ben on the spot. It's awesome.
Yeah, so all
I
the
put
way-
myself under the
There's
spot.
probably a lot of scientific words that we should take the time to define for the audience, but yeah, subduction is, like Ben said, when one plate goes under another. And then the Ring of Fire is this huge plate in the Pacific. I know Japan takes a lot of the brunt of it, and it is a lot of volcanic activity, and hence the Ring of Fire. But I don't know about you guys, when Susan asked that, did anyone else think of Finding Nemo? The Ring of Fire!
I did not.
I'm
Ben, disappoint
going to
me.
say I did, just so you don't feel bad.
It's fine. I'm usually alone in these things.
How's that look for step over, Chris?
Yeah.
I brought us a little more south too for next one.
Roger.
Yeah, that's probably fine. Let's just.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. This will cover the rest of our site, so.
Do it.
Do it.
I'm going to head down a little bit.
Please do.
You could probably even grab another 10 meters over, actually. So if you want to
Yikes.
just kind of,
We're still coming down.
It's coming
with
south?
August. Yes.
Understood, yeah.
I increased that with this
What
move.
what do we got going on here? Argus is there, looking that way. Okay. So yeah, well, I'll have to wait for the ship to move before I can step more starboard there, Chris. But
Okay.
I'll make it happen. That's fine. Yeah. We are so outside the box. We are thinking.
Thinking.
Weird.
The bar.
Currently thinking.
We could probably move forward for a while until we get up to the box, and then we'll step over when we
Yeah,
get
we can
closer. Let's do.
diverge.
You want to
Okay.
do that?
That would
Do
be
I ever?
Yeah, let's do
Great.
it.
Doing it.
If I turn port more, am I going to make a wrap?
Eventually, but one wrap in the 6-8 is not a big deal. We'll take it out before we recover, and it'll be okay.
Cassie's only going to accrue 1 wrap over this entire. It's pretty good.
Like at the beginning, you had like 10 wraps in the first dive.
Someone had 10 wraps?
I thought there was like this huge number of wraps.
What?
Like, maybe
Yeah,
I
actually,
dreamt
I
it.
think we'll get the coverage we want. I don't think we need to step over
Okay.
anymore.
No stepping over.
we'll
Roger.
just-
Yeah, we're well positioned for that.
I'll start moving forward then.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Excellent. So this will be our final line back
I
towards
think
the
so,
wall.
yeah.
Okay, great.
Are you going to do your bearing like 100?
100.
Is that what you're doing?
99.86.
Perfecto.
So that's way too precise for what we can do, but yeah, about 100.
.001.
So if someone wanted to learn how to become an
Coming
ROV
up.
pilot, what is the
Yes.
process that's open to anyone who, at some point when
Am I
there's
coming
an
up?
opportunity?
Oh, because I'm going up slope. That's why I'm coming up.
Well, Susan, I got in my position currently. I'm the Argus pilot by participating in the Ocean Exploration Trust internship program. And so I'm the ROV engineering intern. And one of the duties entails piloting Argus. And that's available for all college students, and I think out of college students as well.
Yeah, recent graduates, I believe.
Yeah, recent graduates. So if someone's interested in participating in this internship, then they can look that up.
One thing that the video lead always says, which I think is really a good statement, is a lot of people don't apply because they think that, you know, they're not the right person for the job or whatever. I think that the best thing to do is let people on board make that decision. Don't discredit yourself because you don't think you don't have enough experience or you don't have what it takes or whatever else. A lot of people come out here with little to no experience, but just having the right attitude makes
Right.
such a difference.
Attitude
And
is very important.
it's one of the most important things of working on a ship.
It's the
You're
most
in-
important things in any context, of any job.
Yeah, you can learn your skills. It's hard to learn the attitude. So if you have a nice positive attitude, willing to learn, willing to ask questions, willing to try
Right.
things and step outside your comfort zone, that's one of the biggest things to do in this.